A live look at Bobcat Madness on the Lender Court at the TD Bank Sports Center on the York Hill campus of Quinnipiac University. Welcome into a Q30 Sports Special. I'm Maury Hirschgordon, and for all of you tuning in from home, you're in for a real treat tonight as we bring you everything you want to know about Bobcat Madness. For appetizers, Q30 Sports is one of just 3 departments that comprise our television station, Q30 Television. The other 2 are our news and entertainment departments. Q30 Television is a completely run student television station on the school's Mount Carmel campus. 8 shows across the 3 departments run on a weekly or bi-weekly schedule. And if you want to check out our content, you can head on over to our website, Q30television.com, or subscribe to our YouTube channel by typing in Q30 TV and clicking subscribe. We're also on social media on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, anything that you really can get your hands on. We're at Q30 Television and at Q30 Sports. But for now, let's focus on the evening ahead. And over the next hour, our coverage will include the introduction to the men's and women's basketball teams, interviews with both head coaches Trisha Fabry of the women's team and Tom Moore of the men's team, analyst segments with Q30 Sports basketball beat reporters, as well as much more. One of the headliners of the event tonight that you do not want to miss is that a few lucky freshman students will have an opportunity to hit a half-court shot to win, listen to this, a semester's worth of free tuition. Mom and dad, grandparents, uncles, aunts, family members, friends, watch this because a few freshmen will have an opportunity to win a semester's worth of tuition. You might want to take a vacation if one of them does hit that lucky shot. And we also will have a lot of awesome segments coming your way very soon. Before we send it back up to the bank, here's a quick rewind of the 2015-16 Quinnipiac basketball season. On the women's side, Trisha Fabry's squad is coming off its 5th consecutive 20-win season in which it won its first national postseason game in program history. The women's team has climbed the ranks to be one of the mid-major's best programs in the entire country. They've graduated just 1 player, Maria Napolitano, and they bring in 5 new freshmen. The team will settle for nothing shy of a MAC title and a berth to the NCAA tournament. Now on to the men's side. It was a bit of a different story for Tom Moore's squad. His team failed to win 10 games for the first time in his career at Quinnipiac. However, their core, mixed with both experience and youth, had a tremendous summer during the offseason. That core consists of senior sharpshooter Daniel Harris, big men Donovan Smith, Chase Daniels, and Abdullah Bundu, and guards and twins Andrew and Aaron Robinson. The 6 new players, 4 of them come from the junior college route and 2 are true freshmen. They enter looking to help the team and the program return to the top tier of the conference. But for now, we'll send it up to the bank for a look at some of the opening acts of the night. Great job by the QU Notables. Great rendition of the national anthem. And the step team, just what a tremendous performance. Always a little spunk with them. But for now, we're going to move on to our interview portion of the broadcast. In just one moment, Q30 Sports Director Sierra Goodwill will be courtside with the head coaches of the Quinnipiac basketball teams. The men's basketball team is coming off a 9-21 campaign, including a 6-14 mark in the Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference. But the team's last season was a fluke, and they do not want to turn plenty of heads this upcoming year. Like I mentioned earlier, the team returns a solid core as well as brings in 6 new players. Quinnipiac has a favorable non-conference schedule early on before it heads down to Florida over Thanksgiving break for the annual Advocare Invitational in Orlando. Quinnipiac will play Gonzaga to open up the tournament, and then will face the winner or loser of Seton Hall and Florida. The other 4 teams in the national tournament are Miami of Florida, Iowa State, Stanford, and Indiana State. This same tournament was the same tournament that the Monmouth bench made national headlines. This same tournament, the Advocare Invitational, every year, one team from the Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference makes it down to Florida to play in the national tournament. Without further ado, let's send it back up to the bank with Sierra Goodwill, who's standing courtside with our first special guest. Thank you for sticking with us. We are experiencing a few technical difficulties, and for now we are going to step aside for 1 minute. But when we return, we'll go back to that special video introducing the Quinnipiac University women's and men's basketball teams, as well as Tom Moore, who will be with Sierra Goodwill. Welcome back to the Q30 Sports Special, presenting Bobcat Madness. We're now going to send it back upstairs to the TD Bank Sports Center for a look at what's going on. In just a moment, we will be back up to the TD Bank Sports Center, and Sierra Goodwill will be joined alongside women's basketball head coach Trisha Fabry, who's one of the longest tenured coaches here in Hamden. For over 20 years, Fabry has seen the program evolve from Division II to Division I, from low major to a prominent mid-major team year in and year out, and fans expect to see this team atop the MAC standings and playing in the postseason, whether that be the NCAA tournament or the WNIT. And this year is no different. Last year, the team was 25-9, including a 19-game winning streak from the fourth game of the MAC regular season, which was all the way back in early January, to the MAC championship game in late March, before unfortunately falling in the MAC championship game to Joy Adams and the Iona Gales. The team will open up this season at home on Friday, November 11th against Florida Gulf Coast at 2 p.m. Other key non-conference games for the Bobcats include a trip to Ohio to face a very good Dayton Flyers team. Quinnipiac also hosts Big Ten foe Michigan State at home on December 6th. And right before Christmas, they go out to Las Vegas in a great tournament. But now we're going to send it back up to the bank with Sierra Goodwill alongside of Trisha Fabry.
I'm here with the head coach of the women's basketball team. Trisha, how awesome of an atmosphere is it tonight? Is it something that your team looks forward to?
Well, you know what? Every year, this seems to get a little bit better and better. Totally reformatted. And you know what? What a great basketball-centric night for just Tom Moore and his men, and my basketball club as well. It's really spectacular.
And you only lost one senior last year, Maria Napolitano. Is the MAC your conference to lose this year?
Well, we lost Tiffany Webster and Katie Carroll as well, and Maria obviously. But you know what? We have a lot of returning experience. We've got great newcomers. We're really excited about the possibility of this year.
And something that your team was kind of defined by was the Gold Rush. With the depth of your team this year, do you see that coming back?
Oh, definitely. That's a real strength of ours.
All right, thanks so much for joining me.
Thank you.
Now, Maury, back to you at the desk.
Thank you so much for that, Sierra. Trisha Fabry, always exciting and always a great interviewee up at the bank. We look forward to covering her team all throughout the season, starting against Florida Gulf Coast on Friday, November 11th at 2 p.m. For right now, we're going to step aside for a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to have tons of fun and other activities that we'll show you from the TD Bank Sports Center that include half-court shots and as well as other spirit groups performing. Back to the TD Bank Sports Center, where Sierra Goodwill is standing live with Tom Moore, the head basketball coach of the Quinnipiac men's team.
I'm now joined alongside head coach of the men's team, Tom Moore. It's a great way to start the season with this kind of atmosphere. How much does your team look forward to it?
We have a lot of fun with it, Sierra. It's really a pleasure and an honor for us to perform in front of a crowd like this. Gets our guys really excited. I think it's great for the Quinnipiac community to just get a feel for coming up to TD Bank for a basketball event. Our student body has supported hockey fantastically in the last couple of years, but we want to continue it and try to build even more on the basketball side. So it's been great. We love this night.
You have 6 new faces joining your team this year, a really talented group. How much do you expect them to contribute?
They're going to have to contribute a lot, I think. You know, the core of what we'll be about will be based on how well the returnees do. Mostly Chase Daniels, Donovan Smith, Danny Harris, and that group, I think will be very important. But the new guys, we brought in 4 junior college transfers who are a little bit older and 2 high school freshmen. All 6 of them are very talented, and as of right now, all 6 of them look like they'll be able to help us in some way, shape, or form. They're working really hard. They all came up here for the summer, too, as well, so they got a jump start on things. So far, in the beginning of practice, we're about 7 practices in. They've done a really good job.
And you're heading to Florida this season to play some established teams on a national stage. How important is that for this program?
It's huge because we'll be in Disney. It'll be over Thanksgiving. All the games are on ESPN. So all the games are nationally televised games. So it's a great advertisement for Quinnipiac University for those 2 hours. It's almost like a 2-hour commercial. We'll play Gonzaga, then we'll play either Florida or Seton Hall. So we'll have our work cut out for us. I think from a basketball point of view, I don't know that this group is going to be quite ready for that level of talent that early in the season, but it'll still be great for us to just experience it and go real hard and just put our best foot forward.
Thanks so much for joining me.
My pleasure. Thank you.
You heard it from him. He's excited about this season. Now back to you, Maury, at the desk.
Thank you, Tom Moore, and thank you, Sierra, for that. We're now going to send it back to the TD Bank Sports Center, where we have Chris Stacey, a new person along to the men's basketball beat team, as well as Tom Cunningham, who will give us a breakdown of the men's team. Before we head there, though, let's check out their non-conference schedule. Like I mentioned, the ESPN Advocare Invitational Tournament will last from November 24th through November 27th, a gauntlet of great teams down there in Orlando. And then a couple other non-conference games include the University of Vermont, Columbia University, University of Hartford, an in-state rival, as well as the University of Maine. The basketball beat reporters are set. We're now going to send it back to the TD Bank Sports Center, where Tom Cunningham and Chris Stacey are there to talk about the men. Again, we apologize for technical difficulties, and we thank you for sticking with us. Going along with the men's basketball schedule, a couple notable games. On January 7th, the team hosts Manhattan College. Manhattan College, a team that is synonymous with the NCAA tournament, a team that is used to getting to the MAC championship and playing in postseason basketball. January 7th will be the date at 2 p.m. The Jaspers will come to Hamden. Also in Hamden, a 1 week later, January 14th, the Quinnipiac University men's basketball team hosts the reigning MAC champion Iona Gales. Iona, despite it losing A.J. English and a bunch of other talented seniors, they brought in a great freshman class, as well as return great players. Deshawnee Much should be a great addition to that team. He averaged 13 points a game last year. Tim Cluse and Jared Grasso always have a formidable squad there in New Rochelle. Once again, January 14th, the Iona College Gales come to town against Quinnipiac, and that game will start at 2 p.m. And my last game to look out for is February 17th. The Fairfield Stags come to town, an in-state rival. Sidney Johnson has his team prepared all the time for any MAC contest. But Sidney Johnson and his team are looking to crack the top 5 in the MAC standings for the first time in a few years and earn a bye in Albany for the MAC tournament. And that team will be led by a great slew of guards, as well as a few great bigs there for the Stags. But for right now, we're going to send it to break, and we hope you stay with us. Welcome back to a Q30 Sports Special presenting Bobcats Madness. We're going to go back up to TD Bank Sports Center right now. Trisha Fabry, the women's basketball coach, with some remarks.
An all-MAC rookie selection, 5 newcomers. We play a very unique style. We are fun to watch. We play fast. Everyone's talking about the lack of scoring in college basketball, but we score and we score more and we defend and we play fast and take care of the basketball. For those who have seen us play, I've already said it, thank you for being a fan. But if you want to watch great college women's basketball, you better get here November 11th at 2 o'clock when we play on a great program, Florida Gulf Coast. Because not only are these ladies great representatives of Quinnipiac University, great student athletes, they ball. Thank you very much. It gives me great pleasure to introduce sophomore Brittany Martin.
So just so you guys can get to know us a little better, we came up with a list of adjectives that describe us. First we have Mama Moore. Then we got Buck Green. Artistic Addie. Straight Chewy. Captain Harley. Boss Donna P-John. Justin Faye. Athletic Aaron. Emotional Adele. Powerful P. Bubbly B, Thoughtful Tay, My Mini Me V, Jessica Jaden, Cactus Katie, and Party Gage. Now that you guys know just a little bit more about us, hopefully that will encourage you guys to come out and support us through our next season. You guys are really our 6th man on the court, and when it comes down to it, you guys mean everything to us and we help us with games. So,
Let's hear it one more time for the 2016-17 women's basketball team. And now it's time to meet the 2016-17 Quinnipiac University men's basketball team. A 6'2" freshman guard from Newcastle, Delaware.
Team toughness. I feel we have great team toughness. This group right here, the 8 returning guys, we had 4 of them play a lot of minutes last year. Chase Daniels and Donovan Smith, they got great. Dean Harris and Abdullah Wonder all played a ton of minutes last year. We have a chance, I think, Donovan, Chase, and Dooley among our returnees to have the best front court in the league this year. Of the other guys last year who did not play as much, but were equally important to our success. Alan Cheatham, Andrew Robinson, Adam Robinson, and Greg Tucker were awesome for us last year. Absolutely awesome for us last year. We have 6 new people, new faces. Pete and Mikey are our freshmen. Super talented guys. Super talented young guys that I think you're going to see make a lot of threes, shots, and passes this year. We have 4 other transfers that are from the junior college ranks. Reggie and Phil and Cam and Slick.
Back here at main campus. Great to see the men's basketball team there. Tom Moore, that guy can talk for forever, bringing out all of his players. The players look great in their game day gold. Now we're going to transition over to the women's team. And before we send it back to the bank to talk to Brian Schwartz and Josh Silverman about the women's basketball team, they are 2 of our beat reporters for the women's team. We're going to take a look at some games to watch for the women's basketball team as well as last year's standings and see how the team stacks up against the rest of the Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference. The Quinnipiac women's basketball team, couple key important home games. The first one is in early December, so mark your calendars, fans. December 3rd, Siena Saints come to town for a 2 p.m. tip time. Allie Jackson, her squad, they are loaded. They are ready to make a push at the MAC Crown home court advantage in the Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference. They have a shot to push Quinnipiac to the brink. Once again, that game is on December 3rd against Siena, and that start will be at 2 p.m. And then just 3 days later, on December 6th, out of conference, the team plays Michigan State, a Big Ten foe. I think it's the first time, you can double check me on this, that a Big Ten team will come to Hamden and play Quinnipiac. Just a few years ago, Quinnipiac defeated Alabama, which was its first Power 5 victory over a team from a huge conference. The Alabama Crimson Tide come from the Southeast Conference, the SEC, as most people know it as. They beat them in Mohegan Sun, and then much like them, another Power 5 team is coming to Hamden, and that is the Michigan State Spartans. December 6th, that tip time will be at 7 p.m. Another key home game is against Iona. That is February 17th, the Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference defending champion. The Iona Gales, headed by Billy Godsey, have a tremendous team coming back, spearheaded by Lizarazu, their point guard, as well as a few shooting guards. They are guard-oriented for the Gales. Once again, that's February 17th. The Iona College Gales come to town to Hamden for a 5 p.m. start. The reigning MAC champions. Quinnipiac is going to look to top them there. But for now, we're going to send it back to TD Bank Sports Center. Brian Schwartz and Josh Silverman are live with the latest on the women's basketball team. Guys?
Thanks, Maury. With Josh Silverman, I'm Brian Schwartz. How's it going tonight, Josh?
You know, Brian, I'm great. We got a great crowd here, great atmosphere. You know, I'm happy to be here.
All right, Josh, let's talk some hoops. Who is the biggest threat in the MAC to the Bobcats?
You know, Brian, the biggest threat is definitely Iona. They're the reigning champs. They won last year. They have a winning culture, a winning program, and Billy Godsey is their head coach. Last year, you know, they lost Troy Adams, who was their leading scorer, but they have senior Maria Lizarazu. Another year in the system will help her. And they have the 6th player of the year, you know, last year, Alexis Lewis. She's great. You know, she has a bright future ahead of her. Then you have Maris, another top team in the MAC. They lost Tori Jarose and Cindy Coffey, their top 2 scorers from last year. I think it's going to be hard for them to come back.
Which Bobcat do you think will make the biggest jump from year 1 to year 2?
I think it's Brittany Morin. She bleeds the blue and gold. Her family bleeds it. Her sister, Jasmine Morin, was a legend here. I think she's going to have to make a huge jump. She averaged 4 points per game last year, 1.7 rebounds, and her high of 16 points in the game. She's going to make a huge impact this year.
And how do you think the Bobcats will replace Maria Napolitano?
You know, it's always hard to replace a leader. You can see that they had trouble in the MAC finals last year, but I think they'll be able to do it. You're going to need Carly Fabry and Adelie Martucci to do it. You know, Maria led the team in points and three-pointers made. I think it's going to be hard, but Adelie and Carly are going to have to step up this year.
And throughout Napolitano's career, she was part of the gold rush at Quinnipiac. Will Quinnipiac use that or some form of it at all this year?
No, our Sierra Goodwill spoke with Trisha Fabry before our interview. Trisha said they will be using the Gold Rush this year, and you know what? They have the ability to. Last year, they had 9 players with 100 points or more. To put that in perspective, Iona only had 5 and Marist only had 6. So they have the people to do it. They have a strong incoming class, as we just saw. I think that, you know, they have the skills to do it, and we learned that. They will be using.
Does the Quinnipiac
Great insight, Josh, and great job, Brian. Those two guys can be found on Twitter. Brian at Brian Schwartz 15, and Josh is at Josh M. Silverman. The women's basketball team, like I mentioned, November 11th, 2 o'clock on a Friday afternoon, hosts Florida Gulf Coast University, another mid-major power coming to Hamden. You won't want to miss that game. Now we're going to send it back out to the TD Bank Sports Center to be. Now we're before we get back out to TD Bank Sports Center.
said it's not raining down there. They asked you to turn your phone on with the app. That's what I was told to come up here and tell you.
It's been on for 15 minutes now.
I don't know. Hello. Don't. Okay. Sounds good. Sounds good. Now you're fine, apparently. Like I'm not this coordinated.
Victoria Rutigliano on the camera for that. A great overhead shot of the TD Bank Sports Center. The dance company was putting on a great rendition, and you saw a little earlier before that, the women's basketball team was scrimmaging, and you saw a couple big-time threes from players there. I just want to mention 244 three-pointers the Quinnipiac women's basketball team made last year. That's 84 more threes than their opponents made last season. The three-pointer is a weapon for Trisha Fabry's squad all season long, and they will look to keep hot this year as they maybe even look to introduce the Gold Rush again. For all the technical difficulties for right now, we're going to send it to break, and when we come back, we're going to have our men's basketball beat reporters Tom Cunningham and Chris Stacy. Welcome back to the Q30 Sports Special presenting Bobcat Madness. Right now we're going to send it back up to TD Bank Sports Center, talk a little men's basketball and what they can do to improve on their 9-21 mark last year. And standing at the TD Bank Sports Center right now are Quinnipiac men's basketball beat reporters Chris Stacey and Tom Cunningham. Guys?
TD Bank Sports Center. And let's get in right into it. First of all, Tom.
Again, thank you for sticking with us throughout the entire night as we're experiencing a few technical difficulties. But we want to give you a little extra content in lieu of the men's basketball beat reporters not being able to give you their breakdown. I'm going to preview the Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference for you. Before I preview that, though, let's go over the standings last season. Monmouth University ended atop the conference, 17-3, an overall record of 28-8. A lot of people say the Hawks were snubbed of an NCAA tournament bid. Out of conference schedule, the posted wins against Notre Dame, at UCLA, USC, at Georgetown, at Rutgers. The list goes on. They defeated 5 Power 5 schools en route to a 28-8 season. In second place, the Iona College Gales at 16-4, who ended up winning the MAC tournament, defeating Monmouth on the final night on Monday night. The Gales finished 16-4, 22-11. Their season concluded in the NCAA tournament after a loss to Iowa State. 3, 4, and 5 looked like this. Siena at 13-7. One game behind the Saints was Fairfield at 12-8, and St. Peter's also at 12-8. That made up the top 5. Those top 5 teams got a bye in the Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference tournament. At 6 was Manhattan, who finished 9-11 in the conference, and one game below them was Canisius and Ryder, tied for 7th at 8-12. Quinnipiac, Niagara, and Marist, in that order, finished out the MAC at 6-14, 5-15, and 4-16. But this year, the conference is wide open. A lot of people say that it is the deepest the conference has been since the late 2000s, in which the Siena Saints won 3 back-to-back Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference championships from 2008 to 2010, a team led by Ronald Moore and current Iowa coach Fran McCaffrey. Monmouth, Iona, Siena, and Manhattan are predicted to be the top 4 teams. Monmouth returns everybody on that great team other than fifth-year senior Deion Jones. And Iona, like I mentioned, brings back a lot of key pieces. Siena brings back Brett Bisping, Marquise Wright, Nico Clareth, as well as a bunch of other Saints that will contribute to a squad who needs to get deep into the MAC tournament, if not the NCAA tournament, in order for Jimmy Pastos to keep his job up in New York. The second tier of the conference, though, looks like this. Fairfield and St. Peter's are right there at the 5 and the 6. Some think that Sidney Johnson and John Dunn's squads think that they can get into the top tier of the conference, into a top 4 spot, but for right now we'll keep them at 5 and 6, and the rest of the conference looks like it did last year with Canisius, Ryder, Quinnipiac, Niagara, and Marist. For right now, we're going to send it to break. That was our Q30 Sports MAC men's basketball preview for the 2016-17 season, and hopefully we'll bring you back more action from the TD Bank Sports Center.
coming.
Welcome back to the Q30 Sports Special, bringing you Bobcat Madness down here on main campus. I'm Maury Hirschgordon. Thanks for sticking with us. We're now going to send it up to the men's basketball beat reporters, Chris Stacey and Tom Cunningham. Hopefully, they will have an opportunity to break down the team and avoid some of those technical difficulties. But before we go to them, we just wanted to mention to you the 4 freshmen, those lucky freshmen that had an opportunity to win a semester's worth of free tuition. You know what? They'll have to try another time. All 4 freshmen didn't hit the rim. And in fact, the last one shot the ball and hit the free throw line. Didn't even hit the rim, the backboard, the block, nothing. You know, get in the weight room, my friends. Looking like Josh Silverman out there in Albany. But for now, we're going to send it out to Chris Stacey and Tom Cunningham, our basketball beat reporters, to break down the team.
Thanks, Maury. And let me tell you guys, it is great to be back here at the TD Bank Sports Center. And you know what they say, Tom, third time is a charm, so let's get right into it. First off, this team has graduated Giovanni McLean and James Ford Jr. Who do you see stepping up and filling in for their roles this year?
It's going to be tough. Anytime you lose 2 key contributors like Giovanni McLean and James Ford Jr., it's tough to replace them. Gio obviously had just under 13 points per game last season. He was the point guard. The offense really rolled through him. And James Ford Jr. was one of the best lockdown one-on-one defenders in not just on this team, but in the entire conference. So it's definitely going to be tough to replace those 2 guys. One person I look to is junior college transfer Cameron Young. Young, 6'6". He's a big body to add to that backcourt for Tom Moore, and he brings some experience, obviously being older than some of the other guys on this roster coming from junior college. Someone else who we already heard Tom Moore is excited to have on this team. You've got a lot of hype out of the crowd so far tonight, is Mikey Dixon. 6'2", point guard. He could come in and he could be the starting point guard for this team on opening night. You heard Tom Moore in this pep rally here tonight at Bobcat Madness say that expect a lot of threes from Mikey Dixon. And someone else, third person, Daniel Harris. Harris came in last season as a junior college transfer, shot the ball tremendously from beyond the three-point line as he was over 40% from 3. Look for his increased role to, he's going to be more involved in the offensive end. Look for him to average more than 10 points a game he averaged last season. So look at those 3 guys to really zero in on to replace McLean and James Ford Jr.
All right, there's also many holes that need to be filled this year. Who do you see stepping up and being a leader on this squad here?
someone I look to is sophomore forward Abdoulaye Bundu. Bundu played in all 30 games last season. He started the last 20 games of the season. And Tom Moore, we know he doesn't really like to play freshmen a lot, let alone start a freshman. Abdoulaye Bundu forced him to do that last year. Bundu averaged just over 7 points and over 6 rebounds a game. With his increased role, more leadership on him, he's a year older, has a year under his belt in this conference and on this team. So I think Abdoulaye Bundu is prime for a breakout season. He also led the team with 48% field goal percentage last season, which is an incredible amount for a freshman. Abdoulaye Bundu, I expect him to average close to a double-double this season. He's a sophomore. He'll be relied on more heavily. He'll get the start from the starting lineup right from the get-go, which he didn't get last season. It took him a little bit to transition to the college game, and especially when it came to MAC play, playing against some of those other bigger bodies in the MAC. But Abdoulaye Bundu, definitely someone to watch out for.
And also we have, like you said before, there are 6 new faces here to Quinnipiac. And also Tom Moore is coming off his worst season statistically as the Bobcats head coach. How do you see this team finishing in the MAC?
You know, Chris, I think this year could be one of the deepest years the MAC has seen top to bottom. You have teams at the top of the conference like Monmouth, who's returning players like Justin Robinson and Micah Seaborn, and we saw Monmouth get all that national attention last season. Teams like Fairfield, Iona, Manhattan, Siena, you can never count them out. They are going to be ready to play. I think this team top to bottom, this league top to bottom is so deep that it's going to be tough for Tom Moore's team to finish above that 7th or 8th spot, especially with all these new faces. So I see them finishing around 8th place in the conference.
And that's all the time for we have today. For Tom Cunningham, I'm Chris Stacy. Let's send it back to you, Maury, at the desk.
Thank you for all that insight, gentlemen. Right now, we're going to step aside for a quick break, but when we come back, we're going to go back up to the TD Bank Sports Center, and we're going to close it out with a few remarks. Stay with us.
Come on, guys, 2 more, 15. Got it in 2, got it in 1 more, tonight at 4, tonight at 4. The winner of the brand new 55-inch Vizio HDTV.
Kyle, she just made like 6 in a row. 7 in a row. She just made 7 in a row. 7 in a row. Number 35, women's basketball. 35. 35, women's basketball. Number 35 on women's basketball just made 7 threes in a row.
Winner of the brand new Vizio 55-inch 4K HDTV.
I'm sorry.
All right, so right now, time for the men's competition. Please give a warm welcome to Precy Irvine and Kevin Dieselman.
You're on such a delay.
All right, what you do, go on over to the bench and pick somebody that you would like to play with.
What's her name? I don't know her name, Kyle. She's number 35.
All right, here we go. We got Kevin and Greg, and they are going to shoot.
Wow, what a performance by Morgan Mans, the senior, the sharpshooter for the women's basketball team. 7 straight threes by number 35. And why isn't that much of a surprise? Well, I got the stats right here. 45%, over 45% for Morgan Mans last year from beyond the arc. She's one of the top three-point shooters, not only in the mid-major game, but across the country, Power Fives, mid-majors, low majors, you name it. Right now, I want to give you a couple updates, though. The men's ice hockey team, as well as the women's ice hockey team, are on the road, and we have a couple score updates for you. On the men's side, the men are up in Orono, Maine, visiting John Alba and the Maine Black Bears. That game is currently tied 0-0 late in the first period. The Quinnipiac Bobcats are 0-2 on the power play, and Chris Truhl, the goalie for Quinnipiac, has made multiple key saves, including one of them was a one-on-one opportunity for the Black Bears. Now let's transition from Maine all the way over to Pennsylvania. Out in Erie, Cass Turner's women's ice hockey team is playing the Mercyhurst Lakers, and Quinnipiac faced an early 1-0 deficit to the Lakers. Taylor Accursey scored in the first period. Mercyhurst went to break 1-0, holding a 7-1 advantage, and then Emma Woods tied the game up in the second period off of a steal started by Megan Turner. Megan Turner and Emma Woods, both senior and captains of the women's ice hockey team. That game is currently tied 1-1 in the second period. We're going to send it back up for some more basketball, though, at TD Bank Sports Center.
Andrew. Andrew. Can I ask you a couple questions about that? Can I ask you a couple questions about that? So, just one shot from 3-point. What'd it feel like? What is this atmosphere like for everybody on this team?
I think it's fun. Everybody having a good time.
And one last thing, what does this turnout mean for this program and other Quinnipiac sports programs?
I think it's great. I mean, hopefully, all the athletes come out. Everybody.
All right, Andrew, thank you. Have a fun time.
Great hair there by Andrew Robinson. A shot for $100. Also, MJ Baird was behind the camera on that one. He's holding it and asking the questions at the same time. MJ, thanks for that. Andrew, great job on that. I'm going to give you a little Quinnipiac recap so far of the day today, as well as the action tomorrow. So today, field hockey defeated the number 19 team in the country, Old Dominion, 3-2 on its home field, the field Johnson Field over at Yale, while Quinnipiac University's field hockey field is being redone, under construction right now. Savannah Riley, the graduate student, former walk-on, had the game winner, 3-2 victory. That was. The team is still alive to get into the playoffs for the first time as members of the Big East Conference. And also our hockey updates right now. Women's ice hockey is still tied 1-1, like I mentioned a couple minutes ago. And the men's ice hockey team is at the first intermission, scoreless up in Orono, Maine. Tomorrow, a gauntlet of teams play on October 15th. The women's cross-country team and men's cross-country teams are in Indiana for the Adidas Pre-Nationals. One of the first times the Quinnipiac the women's or men's cross-country teams is in Indiana for a national event. The women's team will start its race at 12:15. The men's team will start its race at 12:50. At 1 o'clock, all the way across country in Central Washington University in the state of Washington, the women's rugby team will look to make it 12 straight wins, defeat Central Washington, one of the two teams who defeated Quinnipiac last year, in order to stay undefeated, and Quinnipiac is looking to defend its national championship bid. At 2 o'clock, the women's ice hockey team will play Game 2 of the series at Mercyhurst against the Lakers. And at 2 o'clock in New Jersey, women's soccer will face Monmouth. Monmouth is a team perennially at the top of the Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference. The women's soccer team defeated Monmouth last year at home, but now it's a little tougher test going to Long Branch to face the Hawks. And at 7 o'clock, the nightcap on the Quinnipiac roster of games tomorrow night, men's ice hockey again in Orono, Maine for Game 2 against the Maine Black Bears. For right now, we are going to send it to break, and we have a quick wrap when we come back. A great night of fun and festivities at the TD Bank Sports Center up on the campus of Quinnipiac University, and it all comes to a close right now. For all of our coverage throughout both of the team seasons, be sure to check us out on our website at Q30television.com, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube page. All you have to do is type in Q30 Television, Q30 TV, and click subscribe. Also, don't forget to check out us on social media, Twitter, Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, whatever it may be, like I mentioned before, at Q30 Television for those, and at Q30 Sports. I just want to mention a big thank you to our head engineer, Steven Mendez. Steven, thank you for working so diligently to be able to provide the viewers and us a great opportunity and a great experience tonight. Also, we want to thank Mike Bonavita, Kyle Lavasser, MJ Baird, and Victoria Rutigliano for help leading the charge behind the scenes, as well as the rest of our talented and dedicated members here at Q30. For Sierra Goodwill and our beat reporters, I'm Maury Hirschgordon. Thanks for joining us.